subscribe to my channel. The afternoon sun stretched long shadows across Riverside Park as Derek Byers stood near the fountain watching his 5-year-old son, Owen, run after pigeons. Owen laughed loudly, and that sound always made Derek happy. A camera hung from Derek's neck because he was meant to be taking photos for a magazine story about city changes, but watching Owen felt far better than any job. "He's getting faster every day," Harriet Wagner said as she sat beside Derek on the bench. Harriet was Gwen's mother and Owen's grandmother, and she had started coming with them almost every day since Gwen returned to full-time hospital work. Derek once suggested daycare, but Gwen refused, saying her mother loved being with Owen and it cost nothing. Derek smiled politely and said Owen never ran out of it. Energy. Harriet stood up, straightened her flowered dress, and said she would take Owen for ice cream and told Derek to rest. She didn't wait for an answer. Owen ran to her happily at the word ice cream, and Derek watched them walk toward the cart across the park. Derek leaned back and closed his eyes, feeling tired from late nights editing photos, early mornings with Owen, and Harriet always being around. He loved Gwen deeply, but her mother was exhausting. Suddenly, a voice said his name. Derek opened his eyes to see an old man with white hair, deep wrinkles, and sad eyes standing in front of him, wearing a thick sweater despite the warm day. Derek asked if he knew him. The man said no, but said he knew her, looking toward Harriet and Owen. He handed Derek a heavy brown envelope with shaking hands and told him to read it before letting her near his child again. The man said his name was Clayton Glover and that his grandson Timothy Glover was mentioned inside. His voice cracked as he said he waited 30 years for justice, that her husband protected her, but now he was gone and Clayton himself was dying, so someone had to stop her. When Derek asked what she needed to be stopped from, Clayton walked away quickly and never turned back. Derek looked toward the ice cream cart where Harriet and Owen were still waiting and felt he should not open the envelope in public, so he put it into his camera bag. Owen soon ran back with chocolate ice cream on his face, proudly saying Grandma got him extra sprinkles, and Harriet smiled calmly and said every child deserved extra sprinkles. For the rest of the day, Derek felt uneasy and watched Harriet closely, wondering if the old man was crazy or telling the truth, especially when he said his grandson was Timothy Glover. That night, after dinner and after Owen was asleep, while Gwen worked a night shift and Harriet returned home, Derek finally opened the envelope at his desk with shaking hands. Inside was an old newspaper article from 1994 titled "Third Foster Child Dies While Living with Local Family," describing the death of 4-year-old Timothy Glover under the care of Judge Richard Wagner and his wife Harriet Wagner, marking 3 child deaths in 7 years. Derek felt cold because Wagner was Gwen's maiden name, and her father had been a judge she spoke of proudly. More papers followed, police reports and medical notes. A 6-year-old girl named Sarah Newman died from poisoning in 1987. A 7-year-old boy named Miguel Marks died from a fall in 1990, and Timothy Glover died in 1994, all ruled accidents. Doctors and social workers expressed concern about Harriet's behavior, noting she gave medicine without permission and became hostile when questioned, later protected by the judge. Photos showed Harriet with children who looked weak and tired, and one boy sat still while she smiled brightly. The final letter was from Clayton, saying he was dying, explaining Timothy was his grandson and the only family he had left. Clayton placed Timothy in foster care, believing the Wagners were perfect. Timothy stayed 6 months, became quiet and weak, and then died from a medicine overdose. Clayton tried to speak up but lost his job and was silenced by the judge's power. He wrote that Harriet stopped fostering after her husband died, but now had a daughter and grandson, and she held that boy the same way she held Timothy. Clayton begged Derek not to let history repeat itself. Derek sat back in shock, struggling to believe Harriet could be capable of this, but thinking about Owen being tired after time with her made him uneasy. His journalist instincts kicked in, and he began researching. The deaths were real, the articles matched, and forums mentioned the Wagner home. By morning, Derek listed 6 children harmed under Harriet's care. Then Gwen texted saying Harriet wanted to take Owen to the zoo, and she had agreed. That night, Derek checked Owen's water bottle Harriet had given him and saved the remaining liquid in a jar. The next day, Derek contacted his old friend Lester, a forensic expert who tested the water and found Benadryl, enough to make a child sleepy, confirming Owen was being drugged. Lester warned Derek that this matched known abuse patterns and that his son was in real danger. Derek ordered hidden cameras, gathered evidence, and contacted families from the past. One mother said her daughter developed seizures after staying with Harriet. Another father said Harriet gave his son special medicine, and every story followed the same pattern. That night, Derek made a decision to protect his son and expose Harriet. The prey was no longer blind. Now, Derek was watching. Harriet, we weren't expecting you. I made Owen's favorite casserole. Thought I'd drop it off and say hello. She swept past him before he could object. Owen's sweetheart. Come give Grandma a hug. Owen ran to her, and Derek watched as Harriet embraced him with that possessive grip. She handed him a juice box from her bag. I brought you the kind you love. Apple juice. Derek's instincts screamed. Actually, Owen just had a snack. Maybe save that for later. Nonsense. It's barely 2-0. Growing boys need their juice. Harriet punctured the straw through the top and handed it to Owen, who accepted it happily. Derek moved fast, snatching the juice box before Owen could drink. On second thought, he's been having too much sugar. Water's better. Harriet's pleasant expression cracked just slightly. Derek, it's just juice. I said, no. He met her eyes, letting her see that he wasn't backing down. For a moment, the mask dropped completely. The look she gave him was pure malevolence. Cold, calculating, furious. Then it snapped back into place. Of course you're his father. I respect that. She smiled at Owen. Grandma will bring you something even better next time. After she left, Derek immediately poured the juice into a specimen jar. He'd send it to Lester tonight. But more importantly, the cameras had caught the entire exchange. Harriet bringing the juice specifically for Owen. Her insistence he drink it. Her reaction when Derek refused. That evening, after putting Owen to bed, Derek reviewed all the camera footage. Nothing obvious yet, but patterns were emerging. Every time Harriet visited, she brought Owen something to drink. He never saw her tamper with anything on camera, which meant she was preparing the drinks before arriving. Derek needed to catch her in the act, and he had an idea how. The next morning, he called Gwen at work. I've been thinking about what you said about needing a date night. How about Friday? Your mom can watch Owen. Gwen sounded surprised. Really? What changed your mind? You're right. We need couple time, and I've been unfair to your mom. That's great. I'll call her right now. After hanging up, Derek texted Lester. Need your help Friday night. Operation Honeypot. Can you be available? Lester responded immediately. I'm in. What's the plan? Derek outlined it. On Friday, he and Gwen would pretend to leave for dinner, but actually park down the street. Lester would monitor the camera feeds from his van and alert Derek to anything suspicious. They'd give Harriet enough rope to hang herself. Friday arrived. Derek had installed 2 additional cameras, one hidden in Owen's bathroom, one in the pantry where drinks were stored, every angle covered. Harriet arrived at 6, beaming. "You two have a wonderful time. Owen and I will have such fun, won't we?" Owen hugged them goodbye, and Derek felt a pang of guilt for using his son as bait, but he'd be watching every second. At the first sign of danger, he'd be back inside. He and Gwen drove around the corner and parked. "I forgot my wallet," Derek said. "Let me run back quick. I'll be 2 minutes." He jogged back to the house, but instead of going inside, he circled to the side yard where he could see into the kitchen window. He pulled out his phone and opened the camera feeds. Lester called. "I've got all feeds active." She just took Owen into the kitchen. Derek watched the kitchen feed. Harriet was pulling something from her purse, a small brown glass bottle, like a medicine container. She unscrewed the top and poured liquid into a glass of milk, stirring it carefully, then added chocolate. "Syrup to hide the taste." "Got it," Derek breathed. "She's drugging the milk right now." "I'm recording everything," Lester confirmed. Harriet called out sweetly for Owen to come get his special bedtime milk. Derek burst through the front door and rushed into the kitchen, grabbing the glass before Owen could drink. He scooped up his son and locked them in the bedroom. Police arrived minutes later. Harriet was restrained, screaming, denying everything. Gwen arrived, shocked. Derek showed the video. Harriet was arrested. Hospital tests confirmed Owen had been drugged over months. The investigation expanded. Old victims came forward. Harriet's past was exposed. Clayton Glover's warning had saved Owen. Harriet was tried, convicted, and sentenced to prison for life. She died there years later, alone. The families healed. Slowly. Derek wrote the story. Gwen helped protect other children. Owen grew up safe, loved, and free. Justice came late, but it came. Please subscribe